We'll just go ahead and start recording now. Oh, that's good shit.
Tookie.
All right, so I got you're turned up too much. Oh, that's the bong. That's the bong. Wait, we're on camera now. All right, I'm muting us. Support for this episode of Inside the Natural State is provided by Argenta Nutrition. Located in North Little Rock, this locally owned spot is continuing to help you stay healthy even during quarantine. Now offering curbside service as well as deliveries in the North Little Rock and surrounding areas. Looking for a customized meal plan? They got that too. They've even got customized virtual workouts to help you burn off all that pent-up energy you have from social distancing on your couch. Give Alicia a call at 501-508-9991 or follow them on Facebook by searching Argenta Nutrition. Welcome, everybody, to Inside the Natural State. This is Steve, your host, and joined by my co-host, Andy. Andy, how you doing tonight, man?
Just trying to stay COVID-free, man.
Yeah, you washing your hands, taking showers, sanitizing.
The normal things that you do to stay clean.
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do to stay clean? Is that the newer things? Okay, I wasn't sure. I mean,
I don't know if I like this new mic setup you got going here.
Well,
dumb. I thought I had it right.
Well,
maybe I don't.
You can move it how you
Hold
need it.
still, wait
it may get a little weird, but you can hold it and move it how you need to. What do you think about the? What do you think about the videoing of this whole thing now?
I don't like my face, so I have a face for radio. Some of you may agree, some of you may not.
Well, I don't know how many people are going to see this video. If it goes out, it'll be on our YouTube channel, which I think like 1 or 2 people subscribe to, like me and Will. That's it. So
we have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we just haven't done much with it yet.
Oh, okay.
Our
well,
videos,
that makes more sense.
Our videos for from the press conferences when we went up and covered the game. I'm gonna try to turn that. There we go. That still sucks. I'm way off the camera. Oh, well.
Me too.
You can't see my face anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Hog.
That's right. That's all anybody cares about. So, staying as I guess sanitized as possible over the last couple of weeks.
Social distancing.
That's right. I mean, we could touch, I guess, technically. We should put like a piece of plastic.
Plexi window.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Sneeze guard.
Says the guy who sneezed all up in his shirt. There is coronavirus all down his titties right now.
Nope, it went between them.
Oh, see, I said titty, which now that means we're an explicit podcast.
Damn.
Damn it. I swear, man, the rules of Apple are getting frustrating this week. We've been chastised twice. We've been chastised twice now. So.
Twice.
Yeah. So, man, things are still nuts. I think Surgeon General come out today and told us we should all prepare for like the worst week, or like a 9/11 style week in terms of how bad it's going to be this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go to work every day and sell tires.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work this week. I don't really have anything going on this week.
You need to come get your tires.
I do need to come get my tires, but I still hate to give away money. And then when certain individuals screw me over on money.
We won't talk about that.
No, I'm not allowed to. I got in trouble, and this has nothing to do with other things. This has to do with my job that pays money. I got in trouble, so I guess I'm not allowed to say certain things. Oh,
it might get you in trouble.
Let's turn this.
Turn it the wrong way, idiot.
I know. Oh, look, now it's all me.
Look,
hey, that's almost good.
Me out of it. I'll just wave with this hand.
Yeah, there you go. So, man, again, another week of not a whole lot. We've been trying to throw things against the wall, figure out what works. Was a little bit of stuff that came out this week, though. The updated release from the SEC, which had a few interesting things on it. I took a screenshot here. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Yeah, sorry, it was my coronavirus. Yeah, it was COVID-19. Thanks, China. So it was announced this week. No. Okay. Let me tell you, I could get off on a tangent right now, but I'm not.
I'm not a fan of that tangent.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Because I think the same thing, probably.
Yeah. So, so everything's been suspended now through at least May 31st. So another month and a half on top of what they already had.
Yay! Said no one ever.
Right. Now, I will say this. They did do some things. One of the biggest parts of this. So initially, you could do 2 hours of virtual film review that did not include physical activity. They've now increased that to 4 hours per week, which will allow coaches and players to meet and do film review and kind of go over different things like that. So there's at least that. They'll still get provide their student athletes with care, support to meet their needs, of course, academically. So the SEC's, I mean, they're kind of leading the way here in terms of laying these things out, laying out what we should be doing.
A guideline for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job there. I'm not, can't complain much. Hopefully we get something. I mean, I've seen some things here over the last couple of days that like peaks are expected, I guess, in Louisiana, New York.
I was expecting towards the end of this month is what I thought.
Well, they said this week, I think, is what I read, that they expect the peak to hit those areas this week. Now, Arkansas will be late April.
A couple weeks behind.
Yeah, I think they said April 26, 27. Mm-hmm. So
it's supposed to talk about somewhere around 5,000, but let's all hope that is totally false and they're wrong. But
yeah.
They haven't really been wrong yet. So.
Well, you say that.
You believe the redneck down the street, or you believe the smart guy that can tell you the real deal with what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
You be the judge.
Well, so, okay, but here's the thing. I am going to get off on a little tangent because I think it's important. We had...
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is a little, but it's an important rabbit hole, I think. So we had Dr. Wilson on with UAMS, and maybe we should get him back on because it seems like there's a lot of misinformation going around.
I think that'd be a good idea. What do y'all think?
Yeah, let us know if you want to hear from him again because things change daily, hourly. I mean, it happens a lot. But the big argument over the last couple of weeks has been this stay-at-home order thing, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it because I think anybody that's playing politics right now with any of this is just playing with American lives, and I think it's ridiculous. This shouldn't be about who can get elected and who can do what. This should be, about what we can do to help. Well, it should be how we can help America. You want to fight about this politically after this shit's done, then fight all you want.
Watch your damn mouth.
We're already explicit. I don't give a shit. So, and I'm going off on a tangent here. But so my issue though is with the response to some of the stuff that the governor said, and my thing is, my question to anybody out there that is really, really pushing for stay at home, and maybe this upsets some people, but why do you need the governor to tell you to stay home? Like, I don't understand why you need the government to tell you to stay home
for a while.
Yeah,
I don't need him to tell me to do it. I mean,
so here's the deal: if
I'm grown, I have a brain.
Yeah, and you
understand that going out in public is probably not the best unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah. And that's so. I made this point to somebody on social media the other day. Wash your hands, take showers, brush your teeth, do the normal hygiene things. If you don't have to get out, don't go anywhere. If you have to get out, wash your hands, use sanitizer.
Carry it in your car.
Yeah, do the smart things. You're not. Just do what you're supposed to do, what they're asking you to do. But if you don't have to get out, get out. Don't get out. Stay at home.
You don't have to go somewhere as a family if somebody's going to go out. Just take one person.
Yeah, I usually go by myself. So right now,
easier to do.
Yeah, right now our situation is I've always worked from home, but now I have both kids at home. But my wife is still working full time, thankfully, right now.
Yeah,
which is part of my issue here because if you don't want to work and if you want to sit at home, you can go sit in the unemployment line now or get on the website and beg for unemployment.
From what I hear from friends and stuff like that have had to do that. Say something like 3 days on average to get in touch with the unemployment office.
Oh, let me tell you, I was talking to a friend of mine on social media.
On a good note, there are bunches of folks out there hiring right now for this stuff.
Well, so I was talking to a friend of mine who she's laid off because of all this, and she tried to call, couldn't get a hold of anybody. She went through the website. It continuously crashed on her. Mm-hmm. So she went to their local office. She stood in line for 2 hours, gets to the window, and the lady's like, ma'am, just drop that in the box. You need to go online and apply. Mm-hmm. And she's like, so I sat here for 2 hours for them to tell me to go home. And I'm no closer than I was before. So, I don't know the ins and outs of that. Obviously, buildings.
I've been in it before. Those folks that work there aren't the brightest from what I can tell.
Yeah, I've been through the unemployment process before. But as far as how this is going to work, we don't have systems built right now that are able to handle that load of people. So just be patient. But at the same time, be smart. Just do the smart things. We don't need the governor to tell us to stay home. If you can stay home, stay home. Don't be going out on these big gatherings. Don't do all this other stuff. I get so tired of people begging basically for us to lose our civil liberties and sit at home and be told what to do. So, just do the right thing, folks. Just help your neighbor.
I don't know if it was fake or not, but one of the countries overseas was talking about if you're seen outside, you will be shot, no questions asked. I'm like,
geez, that's
one way to do it.
Was that North Korea?
I don't know. It was somewhere over there. But I don't think it was North Korea, but I know that India, they showed a bunch of pictures. The cops beating the heck out of people with sticks, telling them to stay home.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Great
Those
video.
are fantastic.
Have you walloping folks with a billy club? Take your ass inside.
There's one.
Stay there. You want some more? I'll bring it over here. Come on.
So
get a long stick.
Have you seen? I'm pretty sure it was India, but did you see the video of the fake funeral?
No.
Okay, so it was a bunch of guys. They have their stay-at-home order, and so they decided to do a fake funeral as their way to get out. So they've got like 6 of them carrying a dude on a stretcher in a body bag, and they're walking along, and all of a sudden somebody plays like fake siren music in the background. They drop the gurney, take off running, and dude comes zipping out of the bag trying to get out and take off running. It's awesome.
Come out. I'm not even dead yet.
Yeah. So there's been some funny stuff. It's not, I mean, you got to kind of joke and laugh in the face of all this crap.
I think we're going to need a wider angle on the camera.
I can't get a wider angle.
Maybe we'll put it back further.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how often we'll actually record this. So I'm actually just playing with the software so that I can figure out our new live show that we're going to have coming up. So that should be up this week. We'll be out with a day and time and all that stuff later. But I believe Justin and I from our team are going to start a new live show.
I might be included in that.
And yeah, we'll get you in there as well. It'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to doing that. Just another way to bring you guys more information. We're just trying to have a lot of fun with this thing and
stay at home.
Yeah, entertain. I mean, that's what you need.
Stay at my house and I don't have to come over here.
Yeah, right. And we may have to start doing that at some point.
Get my own microphone.
Yeah. Hey, it wouldn't be that hard. I mean, they're not that expensive.
There's 3 here. I'll take one.
Well, and honestly, I mean, I think what we're going to start doing for the Around the Diamond podcast is using Zoom. Now, just for the audio, we had Coach Gum on the podcast on Around the Diamond last week, and dude, I don't know if you've listened to that one, but it sounded like he was in studio with me. I've got to figure out what he was using to come on with us because it was
those headphones
probably. Well, hey, we could set those up now.
I have them. So.
Well, I'm just saying we could set yours up now because we could Bluetooth directly into my computer since all this is going through that. But anyway, we'll figure that out at a later time. So back to the fun stuff.
Out of the rabbit hole, Steve.
Well, that's what we do.
Come on.
We got much else to talk about. So I wanted to talk about this, though. So you and I brought this up just a little while ago, but tell me your feelings on one Jeff Long. Just when I say the name Jeff Long, what do you think?
Used to like him okay, and then I found out about the whole Nike contact to make Arkansas the Oregon of the South. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about that. I know you have.
Yeah.
And declining that kind of really made me not really care for the guy, among a few other things. The Snoop Dogg thing was kind of cool at Kansas, but other than that, I mean, I really don't care what he does. He's gone.
Right, and so there's a lot that's been said that Jeff Long was what ran our program into the dirt, and
possible.
In some ways, his decisions obviously definitely led to a lot of that. His decision to keep Brett on, to give Brett the money he gave him after the Texas win, and then to continuously give Mike extensions and raises, even though he was really mediocre.
I like when Mike left. I think we wouldn't have got who we got if it wouldn't have been the case.
Well, it worked out that, when Hunter came in and made the move, obviously it was the right move.
But the direction he was going. So.
Yeah. But Jeff was always scared to make those moves. And
that's for sure.
And it was never it's not a big secret. Jeff Long was known to, he was very, I guess the word I'm looking for escapes me here. He was...
Because you're dumb.
I am retarded. Oh, I can't say that word.
You can't say that.
My bad. I apologize. Sorry.
Say touched.
I'm not smart.
You're touched.
I'm something. I'm not quite Carl level, but I'm something.
You leave Carl out of this.
But so so he was more in tune with the business side versus working the state of Arkansas, working the fan base, and really understanding what made this fan base, or what makes this fan base special at the University of Arkansas. That was his biggest drawback. Well, things got interesting when you start. There was an article put out by KansasCity.com this week on the Kansas City Star.
It's about barbecue.
Nope, but I bet we could find some barbecue information.
I know I can. I'll just go to my smoker.
But so basically, Jeff Long walked into Kansas wanting to hire Les Miles and fire David Beatty almost from day one. Not a surprise. I mean, we always knew there was a connection between him and Miles. It was surprising that he never made the move. I know, again, he felt that loyalty to Bielema, but he wanted to make that move early.
Clipper.
Yeah. During the fall of 2018, he actually directed an employee to start raising funds from donors to finance the firing of David Beatty and hiring of Les Miles. So a lot of stuff comes out on this thing. They fired him in November of 2018 and initially promised to pay him $3 million. So I don't know how many people pay a whole lot of attention to the Kansas situation, but that's, that was...
Nobody that's going to listen to this.
Yeah. But the Jeff Long situation made it interesting. So these were some things, though. They did a deposition. Basically, Beatty's suing the university because he wants his money. There were allegations that Long made crass remarks of a sexual nature about an elderly female donor and a female school staffer. He was shown several examples by Beatty's lawyer of similar potential infractions. So going back a minute, when Beatty was fired, he was fired initially and was going to be paid $3 million. Well, then they came back and said, well, you committed NCAA violations, and so we're not going to pay you any money. Well, do you know
Why couldn't we have that problem with Chad Morris or Brett Bielema?
I know. I don't know.
We couldn't have got that lucky with those two.
No. And surely, rumor mill is I think there was plenty they could have fired Bielema with cause. Now, I don't know about Morris, but you start following the
Morris,
rumor
they
mill.
should have fired for being a dumbass.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
Dumbass or a fraud.
A thief.
Fraud. I'm a football coach.
Yeah, no, you are a math teacher. That's what you are.
I teach PE.
But so
my name's Mr. Susan.
So basically, the reason that they fired him was because one of his, I guess, not your normal coaches, but like an analyst, was on the sideline, like giving coaching instruction, and it was seen. So they fired him. Well, so when you go back a little further down and you start looking through some of this. Let me find that point where it was. And the other thing. So when they were looking to hire Les Miles, he didn't even hardly talk about anybody else. It said that he was, and it inadvertently showed a lack of interest for anyone besides Miles, is what Long's testimony appeared to say.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
but
if he wants to hire Les Miles, as long as the university's behind him, it doesn't matter what he says.
Yeah, but this was the fun. So it said in his testimony, so when asked whom he had interviewed in person for the KU job, Long said Miles, Todd Graham or Grantham, that guy at Arizona State. And then I'm struggling with his name. He was working for the LA Rams at the time and didn't know the guy's name. And then the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, and I'm going to forget his name as well. That's literally the transcript from the deposition. That's what he said.
That's awesome.
So he had no idea.
ZFG, baby.
Yeah. And so this was the other thing. So what we were talking about what they fired Beatty for cause. Well, they have video of Les Miles and one of his analysts, his offensive analyst, John Ergel, flipping through Miles' play sheet and pointing to something on it. So an analyst by NCAA rules cannot make or assist in making tactical decisions related to the sport during on-court and off-field practice. So when asked about the clip, Long said he was not worried about Miles and Ergel's contact potentially being outside NCAA rules. Doesn't raise any concern. This is even better. Another clip was shown to Long later. And what is that?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Did you win? What'd you win, man?
Hey, that worked.
Yeah. So he said he was later shown a clip after Kansas had scored a touchdown against Boston College. Miles and special teams analyst Devin Ducati both held up their index fingers, appearing to show players that KU was electing to kick the extra point. That is technically an NCAA violation because the analyst cannot give tactical information from the sideline. So when Lyons argued that signaling by an analyst could be a violation during a game, Long disputed, and this was his what he said. Devin could be signaling, "We're number one," Long said. "We just scored a touchdown against Boston College. I don't know. I don't see any tactical thing. I see a finger in the air."
Yeah. Good excuse, idiot.
Jeff Long is slime, man. It seems like everywhere he goes, he just leaves this little bread trail of just
We'll
crap.
go with slug trail.
Yes. It's awful, man.
We need to pour salt on him and see what happens.
That would be awesome. Have you ever done that?
Yes,
you
many
have.
times. Thought that was interesting as a kid.
I did too.
I burnt ants with a magnifying glass.
Okay, so rabbit hole. PETA's going to come after me after this one, but
PETA can kiss my ass.
Right.
I'll say that right now.
Hey, if PETA,
I hate PETA.
If PETA has listened to this podcast, then we're winning, right?
Yeah,
I
think so. I'm gonna go home and have a piece of deer meat out of my freezer that I killed with an arrow. Y'all can come over for dinner if you want.
Okay, so when we were kids, we were pretty white trash, and we were growing up.
You're still white trash.
I know. Just I got a few more dollars. Yeah. So
look at that beard.
I know it's awful right now.
Beard says white trash.
It's all white right there. It's pretty rough.
You need to fix that.
I don't want to. It's my character. It adds to the character of my face.
Yeah, let's not take that hat off. Then.
No, I'm not taking the hat off. It's awful. So when we were kids, we lived in Alexander, up in the white trash trailer park, and my
manufactured home.
No, it's a trailer park. And my grandma, who was stealing money from her employer at the time, so we could go on lots of vacations and stuff. And we never knew this. She put an in-ground pool. Like, I swear, the in-ground pool is worth more than the trailer ever was.
Dude had an in-ground pool between the trailer. Ethel, you come over and clean the pool.
So my uncle and I, who's only a few years older than me, we would race our bikes around the pool and crash into it. And we ripped the liner in that pool about 4 times. So after the 4th time of my grandma replacing it, she was like, "Not replacing it again. I quit, give up." And I don't know how much a liner cost back then. I mean, they're expensive now. Cheap. I cannot imagine how much they cost. I don't know how much she had to steal from her company to get that. By the way, I don't care if my grandma listens to this podcast and I'm telling the story because I hate that woman. Oh, sorry, hate's a strong word. Anyway.
Dislike.
I dislike her. I'm on a roll with bad stuff today. We should just cancel this podcast.
Bring it on, Buffy. Let's hear it.
So anyway, back to the reason of the story. Rabbit hole all over the place.
Remind me of someone else.
This is where Pete, no, don't, boy, I will come across this.
You will not enjoy when you come across that countertop, son.
Let me tell you, do you know how many YouTube hits this would get if that happened, though?
Yeah, you're going to get a couple hits, too.
But so we used
to hit in the face and falling back in that chair going, why the hell did I jump across this counter?
So
I should have stayed where I was.
So after all these times, so after a bit,
today,
pool,
Junior,
I'm getting there. The pool would fill up with all kinds of crap. We'd take bullfrogs out of the pool, and we'd take my uncle had a dissecting kit, and we'd cut them open
while they were alive.
Yeah.
Okay, you are a sick individual.
And sticking M80 in them.
You should not tell the rest of this story. You should stop right there. He didn't really do that. He doesn't know what happened.
I don't know what happened after that. I just know there was a lighter involved.
He's making the story up. This is all made up, folks.
It's for ratings. Yep. But yeah, so
I
told you Peter would be mad if I
Your chickens are scattered all over the county, aren't they?
They are. Oh man, if I could tell some of the stories our dumb white trash asses did when we were kids.
I don't want to hear it. Did you bury cats and run their heads over the lawnmower?
No, we didn't do anything like that. I did run a nest of, or a den of rabbits over one time. That was fun.
I've done that accidentally.
Yeah, it was totally
with
accidental. I didn't do it on purpose, but it was bloody.
That sucked.
It was a bloody mess.
Yep.
There were lots of rabbit.
It is Easter time, so.
Yes.
Easter bunny.
Oh,
I'm going to tell
man.
y'all right now, Peter Cottontail keeps showing up in the neighbor's yard and this stuff gets real bad. He's going to find me and the one-eyed beagle. I'm going to have rabbit for dinner.
We got a lot of those around here.
I could fix that issue.
Oh, hey, like you said, if we get hungry later, it's on. So.
I already told a roommate, I was like, you ever eaten squirrel or rabbit? No. You might.
Oh, man.
Tree rats and squirrel and rabbits are plenty good, I promise you.
Well, that may be the trick. We're all going to come social distance to your house. We're all going to live in your place with rabbits.
Everybody needs a redneck when shit hits the fan. I'm probably that guy.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. When people are going to be back. It's so funny, too, when you think about how everything. People make, so many people make fun of folks in the trades and retail and truck drivers. Who's keeping you afloat now, folks?
Yep.
Those
people without degrees.
That's right. Lots of them, man. So, but yeah, so little transition. I don't know where we're going with this at this point. I hope we're entertaining you at some point.
Please keep listening.
If you're looking for something to do when you're not listening to us, Greater the movie is on Netflix right now. That's the Brandon Burlsworth movie.
It is absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen it, you will love it. If you're an Arkansas fan of any type, or just a fan who's a person who's inspired by stories like his, it's a good watch across the board.
Well, that's.
I don't think I can put that there.
No, you can put that vibrator away.
Magnetic phone cover.
We don't need that on the show, sir.
Boop.
I was trying to find. I had something else here. All kinds of good stuff going on.
Well,
That's what I
You know, I mean, we do have this thing that happens on Friday nights that people can also do, you know.
Do we? What is that?
I think we got a little live show that goes on, and we're trying to grow that as far as viewers and everything. If you follow us on Facebook, you can take a look at Zach and Katie and maybe a couple other folks that might appear on there, you know, randomly, eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of, sort of not. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. But
Give it a watch.
So I think Zach's plan with that show going forward is he wants to make that a very fan-driven, interactive show. So make sure
Ask questions.
Make sure you get on there and watch, ask questions, interact with Zach and Katie. That show's usually it should be every Friday night at 7 o'clock. So best thing to do, go to our Facebook page, like Andy said, Natural State Sports, and just sign up for live notifications. And that way, anytime we go live, you'll get a notification right there on your phone or computer, and you will not miss us.
Every Friday night around 7 o'clock, get to see Zach's beautiful face.
Yep, there you go.
Never mind. He's got a face and body for radio, too. But we still care about him. It's okay. He gives it a hell of a shot.
Oh, man, that's all you can do is try, right?
He's got some neat stuff coming up, I think, though. Like I said, I talked with him last night about it, you know, kind of giving him a few ideas of a direction to go to kind of keep some viewers, keep people interested, you know, they kind of want more every single week. So
yeah. Well,
hopefully it catches traction and we can see what happens.
And that's the key. I mean, what we want to do is entertain, get information out. But, you know, at this point, information, you guys are probably on information overload. So really it's just entertain and answer questions and find guests that you guys will
all
enjoy.
Play along. We have a good time with this. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you watch that. Make sure you don't miss it. A little more newsworthy stuff, I guess, as we continue to bounce through rabbit holes. Jonesboro linebacker Marco Avant.
Yay!
Commits to Arkansas over the weekend. Big time get for the 2021 class, 3-star out of Jonesboro High School.
Looks like one that could gain some size that's relatively fast, too. So
yeah, so he comes off to me as being a guy
He's got a frame, that's for sure. I've seen pictures of him. He's 6'3", 6'3.5", somewhere there, I think.
Yeah, 6'2 and a half, 212, according to 24/7 Sports.
That's a half inch off, to be honest.
Hey, you were right on it, man.
I don't have sports in front of me.
Number 4 player in the state, 44th rated outside linebacker in the country. So 3-star.
Probably got some pretty good wheels in if he's an outside linebacker.
Yeah. So to me, he seems like a guy that is prototypical to what Sam Pittman and really Odom and these guys want to bring in that they can develop. He's got the size. He's got SEC size. You don't think that this is going to be a guy that's a day one contributor, but he's a guy that they can really build into something pretty special.
Did I see something about Odom wanting to run a 3-2-6 base defense?
That's what they're running, yeah, base 3-2-6.
That is, that'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
A lot of DBs on the field.
So that's their base. I mean, and really they want to do it so they can be multiple. If you remember, if you watch
2 linebackers. Well, of course, we don't have a lot, you know, depth-wise. And we do have a bunch of DBs on the team, that's for sure. So
from a personnel standpoint, it really makes sense because
for us right now, it does for sure.
Yeah, and you look at the defensive line. I do think that you'll see more of a.
They'll probably go to 4 down linemen.
Yeah, and Missouri did that. So if you watched Missouri last year, they had some big time D tackles. They like to have big guys at the tackle spots to kind of plug holes. And then
Missouri's always had some pretty hot rod. I mean, they had Michael Sam, the kid that they had was a SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
Was not a huge frame guy. They had a Shane Ray, maybe, or he was a hot rod.
Shane Ray, Alden Smith was another one.
Yeah, there's another one that's huge names that have come out of there that are defensive players that sure enough know how to get it. And if we could get into something like that, we could have some fireworks for sure.
Well, and I'll tell you, a guy that will really kind of take off will be a Mateo Soli because he's going to be a stand-up end
all the time,
and he'll be a stand-up end.
His legs will be fresh every time he's on that field.
Yeah, and in this system, because of the 3 down lineman, he'll be a stand-up outside, basically play almost an outside linebacker type
rush
spot.
end.
Yeah, and so I'm really curious to see how that
hit the guy
works.
with the ball.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that 3-2-6 works. So the personnel we have, I think, fits it. Be a lot of fun. But this guy does come off as the guy that they're going to really be able to develop. Arkansas needs linebacker depth, so that's big.
Bumper Pool and Zach Zimmos.
Yeah, yep, that's it pretty much right now.
Both of them prototypical size. Zimmos putting some weight on, so that's a plus. He'll probably gain a little more weight between now and next year.
Well, I mean, judging by the numbers, we shared this in a couple of podcasts back, but judging by the numbers that we've seen, you got to expect that a guy like Avant's going to get on campus and get up to around 230, 235.
That's what I was saying. I think he's got a frame that you can put weight on, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you can put on 20 pounds of meat, and keep the speed, They can definitely teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
if you lose a step, you lose a step. But I mean, if you can keep that step or even get quicker with the speed, agility, and the strength training that you can get out of a college level program or a big time level program, you should say.
Yeah.
You know, that's always a plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Other news out there: Eddie Sutton finally inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
You got an applause on that button thing?
I probably do, but I don't know where they're at.
About time.
Let's see. Right, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it is. Hey, wait. Hey, here, let's start this over. Ready?
1, 2,
Eddie Sutton is now in the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yay! Much better.
Yeah,
Good
basically
job.
that worked out perfect. So yeah, I mean that's big. Finally, took forever. You know, the question's been asked: what took so long? Why did they to an extent maybe blackball or keep Eddie Sutton out? Is it? I mean, obviously some of his drinking things have been well noted.
He drank.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just a hair. So you know, I mean, he's had some different things that have come up, but I don't understand. I mean, from wins and losses, from what he did at every stop that he's ever been in, he deserved Hall of Fame a long time ago. That was really loud.
Don't drag your keys across a plastic table.
So I was gonna let's see. I wanted to pull this up because I thought it was interesting. Oh, I thought I had it. I don't guess I had
Did
it.
you just see the note that came across the page? The
No.
Sports Junkies one?
Do I want to know?
You do.
Oh gosh,
Justin said, Will, is that you?
that's wrong, man. Oh
Well,
god,
look at Will replied.
that's fantastic.
You need to see that.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Look what I done started now.
Look, you
like
guys.
this.
If we could put, well, we can't. But if we could put some of the stuff that happens in our group chats online, it would be interesting. That would be entertainment for everyone in and of themselves.
Just look at these memes.
Don't worry, we give everybody a hard time. Don't feel like we're singling anybody out. We'll get to you.
Yeah.
I'm-
you don't be mad. You were just first.
Yeah, exactly. See?
plain and
That means
simple.
we loved you
We're
most.
going to get to you.
That just means we loved you
I'll
most.
make fun of myself. I do not care.
Yeah, I mean, oh man.
Like I said, I have a face for radio. So what? So does everybody else that works with us.
I 100% have a face for radio.
Yep. And you don't have a poker face either. So
I don't. I can't.
You don't need to be in front of a camera.
No.
You'll be looking happy, mad, sad, and constipated all at the same time.
These people know what I'm feeling, right?
Yep.
Works for me. I was looking at this. So, Division I head coaching career: Creighton, Arkansas, Kentucky, Oklahoma State, and San Francisco. Compiled an 806 and 326 record, which is 11th most. 3 total Final Four appearances. 1 at Arkansas and 2 at Oklahoma State. 9 regular season conference titles, 3 National Coach of the Year, and 8 Conference Coach of the Year honors.
Not a bad resume for a man.
Yeah, and he was the driving force behind making Barnhill Arena one of the nastiest places in the nation to try to play a college.
We meant that in a good way.
Yes, that was not a dig.
It wasn't a dirty place.
So it was, yeah,
We had some
fantastic.
dirty defense in there, but that's about it.
Yeah. So congratulations to
Sutton
Coach
way.
Sutton. I mean, that's
He's old enough now. I don't even know if he realizes that he was in there.
yeah.
What'd y'all tell me?
Been a long time coming. Okay, so I
At
had
least they get it while he's alive.
some NFL stuff.
We had NFL coronavirus on this sheet that we're supposed to be going off
I
of.
know, and my
Get with it, Shirley.
I'm getting there, man. I'm trying to
Come on.
I'm trying to pull it back up.
Jeez.
I'm getting there. Shut up.
Make me. Come across this counter, see what happens.
We're gonna have to put this shit on YouTube.
We can go out in the yard. We was both scuffed up with some grass.
Just don't go in my neighbor's grass because he'll get mad. He's a jerk,
That's possible. Well, he can get some too.
right? Okay, here we go. I think this is where I was at.
We'll farm his yard after we're done. Come over with a rototiller.
We should.
We're planting the garden, bud. Sorry.
Dude was out there
I
like
thought you'd like it.
taking pictures with a big old like professional camera of his front yard.
Did he have a yardstick out there measuring the height of the grass?
No,
I
not
was
yet.
making sure everything was good to go too.
I really think that he's like dead set on he's gonna win Sherwood Yard of the Month at some point here because that's just that dude. He's
If
something.
he gets the sign that says yard of the month and it's metal, I bet you won't go fill the O up.
We shall see. Oh man, I don't know that dude. He gave me some looks the
You
other
have
day.
to have a twisted mind to figure that one out.
Yeah, you
If
do.
you don't, oh well. If you do, thanks.
Golly.
Yard of the month.
So we've talked a lot about the drafts and everything. The NFL has now decided, it was released March 26th. They said they would have the draft. It would go forward as scheduled. At this point, they have now, it will be virtual, conducted April 23rd through the 25th. They're working on being able to get the top players expected to go in the draft on a live, type deal so that they can all be part of it. But no prospects and their families will not be present at the draft, of course. So,
did you expect them to be?
No. So
I mean, the Trumpster said, until the end of the month of April. So
yeah.
And,
well, then
the China virus.
Hey, we were told we can't say that.
I'll say whatever I want.
You Cadillac DeVille, you.
Darn right. Lincoln Continental with the suicide doors.
That was a boat.
Yes, it was. I'd like to have one.
No, I mean, I was in a boat. That's where, going back to that story. I don't know.
You were in a boat. A boat, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know my story, and I'm okay with not knowing my story.
Wait, that was the story of how I was born.
I'm on a boat.
I was almost born on a boat.
You in your swim trunks and your flippy floppies?
Damn straight. I was ready.
I'm riding on a dolphin, doing flips and shit.
Oh, man. Speaking of Trump, he did come out and say in a conference call, at least this is according to sources, he expects sports to go on as scheduled in the fall. So, and we'll have fans in the stadiums come August, September timeframe. So
I hope he's right.
I proclaimed it on Twitter. We will have football as scheduled this fall.
Also proclaimed.
Shut up.
What am I going to say?
Just shut up.
This guy named Lane was supposed to be the coach at Arkansas.
You know what?
You wore an egg really well.
You know what else? You know what else I predicted?
That
Arkansas
wrong?
Wouldn't get out of the second round of the SEC tournament.
Well, you were right about that. Because they didn't.
They didn't, unfortunately.
Of course, nobody else did. Well, nobody else did either. So, I mean, theoretically, we own a share of the SEC title this year.
Yeah, we do. Sort of. Somehow. I don't know. We finished the season with a win in baseball and a win in basketball. That's all that matters. Not so much in football. But
thanks a lot, China.
Yeah, thanks, China. All right, man, when we get back, you've got some fun stuff over there scheduled for this second segment. So
we'll lead into that here in a second.
Yeah, jump back in. We'll be back.
Yay.
We got an ad and then a sound.
All right, we're back.
So,
I got Steve with me still. I hadn't killed him.
I mean, do you want to intro in?
I can. I mean, I've never done it before, but
you can.
I can bring it. It's all good.
Okay.
If not, we don't like it, we'll back it out.
Yeah, we'll just restart it.
Go.
All right.
Just give me a point or something when you want me to start.
I'll start lowering the sound on it. I'll start loading the sound on it, and so you'll know. Support for this episode of Inside the Natural State is provided by Mountain Valley Spring Water, bottled continuously since 1871 right here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Mountain Valley Spring Water has been the go-to for U.S. presidents, Elvis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and even Triple Crown winner Secretariat. Visit mountainvalleyspring.com to find your local distributor today.
All right, we're back.
What's up, man?
Oh, not much. You all right now?
I'm good. I'm
A
better.
little break there?
I had to go. Anyway, we won't talk about that.
Oh, well, that's good, 'cause I don't want to hear about it. So,
So, you came up with a fun idea for this last segment.
yeah, I thought it'd be kind of neat to hit something kind of called This Week in Sports History. I mean, obviously, we don't have any much current to talk about, so we can dig in and see what we can find that maybe either Arkansas sports related or just big hits in sports in general. There's a few things. There's not much. A lot of NCAA related stuff. We all remember a certain one that happened. Well, not all of us, but the majority of us remember one from about 26 years ago that happened yesterday, and Arkansas won a national title in basketball over Duke.
Who hit the biggest shot in that whole thing?
Not Scotty Thurman.
No, not Scotty Thurman.
I don't know who else.
No, just
I'll blame it on Alex Dillard.
I'm taking the Scotty shot.
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. You can't deny that.
Pretty
that
awesome.
Shot's been all over the world.
Yeah. It
And
was
he's
just
a pretty cool guy, so you got to give it to him.
the arc of the shot, just the way the shot went,
Beautiful.
was pretty
Off
awesome.
the wing,
Yeah.
twine.
It's the one that you see all the time. So that's pretty cool,
And
and
Duke team was pretty loaded too, if I remember right. They had Grant Hill on that team.
Yeah.
Grant was a stud.
when you look at it, I mean, then the very next year, as of what was it last? I guess we looked at that last Friday. Would have been the day that we lost to UCLA in the championship game.
We got
in
drubbed
95.
in the second half of that game.
We did. It was a 1-point game at the half.
Yeah,
so
we were fine, and then we forgot how to play basketball towards the end, and they forgot. Of course, they had a couple of O'Bannons, a kid named Cameron Dollar.
I was about to say,
You know, they were pretty studly at the same time. I still think we should have beat them, but
well, so the one thing, just when you start thinking about the teams, especially the Nolan teams, those teams never were like the most player
Scrappy
gifted.
the
They were
entire
just
game.
Yeah, they were never the most gifted as far as talent wise teams. They were just they played their asses off.
Clint McDaniel, Corey Beck. You know, you had Dwight Stewart, who was 6'9" and wide bodied, who could shoot a three and he could play down low as well. You had what was his name? Darnell Robinson and Lee Wilson, who were both 6'11". You had what was that kid's name? DeVore Remots, the guy that was from overseas.
Yeah, I think so.
And well, everybody knows Scotty Thurman and Corliss Williamson. So
So, I
don't really
mean,
dig too deep there. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple. Al Dillard's in that group.
but I mean, so you think about that. I mean, did they, should they have won it, or did the UCLA talent? I mean, O'Bannon goes for 30 and 17, I think, in that finals
he was
game. So
huge in that game.
yeah, so but an interesting week. We were looking through some of this stuff, and there's some interesting stuff that happened this week.
Yeah, we had a few things. First one I want to hit is actually a birthday that's coming up from between the 5th and the 12th. Can't really speak, but everybody who followed basketball in the early 90s remembered Lee Mayberry and Todd Day, and then you had the Big O.
The Big O,
Oliver Miller was born.
not that Big O, different Big O.
Yeah.
Oliver Miller, the Big O.
Born this week, 1970.
Most of you folks
I think
know
it
who
was
the Big O.
7th, if I remember right.
I think most of you folks know what that Big O is more than you know what the other Big O is.
Don't talk about that. It's not the Big D. We're talking about the Big O here. Big O.
Never mind. I won't go any further.
Shut your mouth. We're talking about sports. It's not nice. I had a couple things, obviously. There were a few national title games that were brought up. There were one in particular happened to be with the Fab Five in North Carolina and the famous timeout when you don't have one. We all know what happens when that happens.
Yeah, got the technical.
Oh, Chris Webber gets the tech, and North Carolina went on to win it by 6,
Yep.
77-71. Another good one would have been Duke and Butler in 2010, in my opinion. It was a great game back and forth with that, and Duke pulled it off. I mean, I believe, Gordon Hayward
Yep.
had a chance at
Yep.
the end of that game.
Think about
And
that.
just missed.
That was about the time that we started. That was one of the first times a mid-major made it that far, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
It was one of the only times. But
Yeah, and they
that
went
was when
back to back,
Butler busted
if I
on the
remember
scene.
right.
You're right. Yep.
And now their coach is the coach of the Celtics.
Yep.
So, you had the famous Melo Anthony,
Melo, yeah.
03, when they beat Kansas, 81-78.
That was a really good Syracuse team.
My personal favorite of every one of them. Yeah, that was a good team. My personal favorite is free throws.
Oh, gosh.
Free throws.
So,
it was a Calipari coach team, but freaking free throws.
Yeah, if they make free throws, they win. And I remember we talked about that. I think it was one of the first college basketball games I bet on. And we were at Gasano's when it was still open watching that game. And
I was mind blown at how terrible that team was.
I just remember screaming at the TV because I wanted nothing more than Calipari to lose that game.
I wanted Memphis to win just because it was Memphis.
Yeah, see, I did, and I hated Calipari even then. And everything I could, I was just screaming for him to, and it was awesome. That was the most epic meltdown when it comes to free throws in late game situations.
It was actually the first time Kansas won a national title in 20 years. It was 08. They won 75-68 in overtime, nonetheless. So.
Yeah.
Definitely
because of free throws. It would have never went to overtime.
A couple other interesting things. 1989, you had Oral Hershiser. Some of you know who he is. Some of you don't. But this is just a staggering stat, in my opinion. Ended his 59 consecutive scoreless pitched inning streak. Now, you think about that, to pitch 59 consecutive scoreless innings. You don't leave me hanging over there?
No, I'm sorry. I was looking this up because you mentioned.
I'm pretty sure it's a record.
I was looking it up.
I'm pretty sure it is still a record. I thought Kershaw got close last year. I don't know how close it is, but I thought he had upper 30s or 40s. But, I mean, that's just insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 59 is nuts. And so when you look at it, the closest anyone's ever come was Kershaw, like you said, 40 in 2014. 41 consecutive scoreless innings.
And that's still just staggering by itself.
And then gave up a solo home run to Chase Headley on July 10th to break it up. And then, that was the second longest.
Headley or Chase Hundley?
Headley. And actually, you were wrong.
I'm wrong.
Zach Greinke has the second longest.
Second longest is Greinke?
45 2/3 in 2015. Yeah. It was broken on July 26th.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, but yeah, 59. You see, they have 14 more innings, 13 and a third. That's insane, man. That's a stat that, especially now that we're not in
the ball's not juiced, and you're not in the steroid era.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of runs being scored, and that's what Major League Baseball wants.
It's almost 7 games.
Yeah.
I mean, 63 innings would be 9 complete games.
Yeah.
So, and this guy went just short of 7 complete games without allowing anything on the board in an earned run.
That's wild. I don't think folks don't understand how difficult that actually is. So that's nuts.
The Dr. Oral Hershiser. Staying with baseball, our favorite Atlanta Brave, Hank Aaron, hit his 715th home run, breaking Babe Ruth's record this week in 1974.
I saw another stat on there. I think was Bonds that hit 660 on
Bonds
this
hit
date.
660 to match up. He's kin to Willie Mays somehow.
Yeah,
but he hit 660 to time in the same week.
Yeah, that's what
was there.
Yeah,
they had a guy throw a no hitter for Cleveland might have no hit the Cleveland Indians. I'm not sure which one it was, but somehow he still lost the game 2-1. You know, I mean, apparently he had a little control issue at some part and kind of walked people, or maybe had a couple errors. Who knows?
Yeah,
I didn't dig into that too much. Other baseball stat I had that kind of interesting, just to kind of throw some money out there. 1990, Don Mattingly signed a $19.7 million contract. That was a 5-year contract with the Yankees.
Yeah, when you said that before, I thought, man, that's a lot of money for 1990. You would think.
I mean, that was. I mean, it was a little under $4 million a year.
Yeah.
You'd think about it, and now, I mean, what's Trout making? Like 35?
At least. I don't know. I don't remember. I have to look. It's outrageous.
Was that dreaming, or did I see something about Mike Trout signing or getting traded to the Yankees?
Oh, that was made up.
It was made up?
That was something.
Okay. I was hoping it was. I was at work and glanced, and I was like, what?
Well, they've been wanting.
That can't be right.
They've been wanting to make that move, or it's been rumored, I guess, is some of the stuff on social media, but no, it didn't happen.
And the last one I've kind of come up with here is, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. For the third time, not the first or the second, in 1987, scored 7 goals in a Stanley Cup game.
That's insane. 7 goals.
I'm hoping that stat's right. It came off the same page, and I mean, it's just staggering to think about 7 goals in a game. Not the first, not the second, but the third time.
Like that is nuts. That's a crazy stat. And I wonder. maybe we have to look that up as to what the most goals scored in a game. I would assume it's 7. I don't know anything about hockey. So. I had
Siri
a couple.
might know.
So yeah, maybe so. Hey Siri, what's the most goals scored in a hockey game?
Did he?
No. I don't want hockey scores.
See, I knew that was going to happen. Siri's dumb with sports stats.
You're stupid. Anyway, whatever, Siri. I had a couple. So back on the baseball thing, April 12th, 1877, all catchers rejoice today because it was the first time masks were used in a baseball game.
Yeah.
No more crushed faces by baseballs.
That or the tip off the bat.
Oh,
Golly.
man. Yeah.
I've seen so many times. I mean, they call it the tools of ignorance for a reason.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I'm not sitting back there. Thankfully, I'm left-handed. We didn't have a left-handed catcher's mitt, so I never had to play that position.
I played catcher for a while.
Yeah, I was out on that.
My brother played catcher, which...
He played center in football, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like touching balls.
Yeah, pretty much. And I thought this one was interesting, too. Phil Mickelson has 3 Masters wins.
He has 3 green jackets, and that would be this week in history anyway.
Yes.
If it wasn't for China.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, China.
So what would they push that back to? Like September, right?
I think it's
That
September.
sounds right. So, but strangely enough, he's won 2 of the 3 on April 11th. Not just. So obviously it's this week all the time, but 2 of the 3 he's won on April 11th, which I thought was kind of an interesting thing.
Hey,
So-
April 11th is a good day for him.
Yeah. Hey, it works, man.
Did you see the thing where they're talking about getting Tiger and Phil back together to do a one-on-one thing? And they can actually pull that off.
They could, and I've seen
Because
that.
you don't need much with golf. Make them carry their own bags, put in 18 holes, and let it ride.
Yeah, I have seen that. I'm curious because the last one didn't make as much money and catch as many
No,
ratings.
it was pay-per-view.
But they
and
did it
everything.
on a weird day too, though. It was like
like a
there was
Tuesday.
something else going on that day that was big that they were competing with, and then it was just a weird time and day
Yeah,
when
it
they
was a
did
bad
it.
day.
I think it'd be pretty cool to see now with nobody doing anything. Did you see that the NBA wants to do a horse competition?
That would be great. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So basically, they're talking about putting players. They'll stay wherever they are, and then they take a shot, and then somebody has to respond.
That's great.
Basically, wherever
that
else.
sounds fun.
That would be pretty cool. Somebody posted the video, said it said everyone will lose to and it's the clip of Michael Jordan shooting with his eyes
Bird.
closed, shooting the free throws with his eyes closed. So I thought that was pretty funny. I think that'd be really neat. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I definitely. Speaking of paying to watch something, I paid $9.95 earlier this week to watch the Freedom 500. Some of you may know, some of you don't. There's a YouTube personality named Cletus McFarland, and he commonly or might be often referred to as Florida Man. Lives in like the Tampa area. He bought a 3/8 mile concrete oval racetrack a couple months ago and decided to have 19 Crown Victorias with roughly 18 other YouTube personalities that all came out. It was $9.95 on Thursday. It actually got moved up from Friday to the Thursday because of Florida implementing the stay-at-home
Right.
thing. I think it was like midnight. And so they practiced the whole social distancing thing. I mean, dude's got 2 million followers on YouTube.
Right.
I mean, you think about it, do the math. If 100,000 people paid $10 to watch this,
That's somebody made some moolah.
now this is just the kicker is the cars, not only are they all old retired police cars between 90 and 140,000 miles, every one of them had a roll cage and nitrous.
That's
on
awesome.
a circle track.
That is
100
awesome.
laps. It was great. It was the best $10 I've ever spent for 3 hours worth of laughs.
So I'm not gonna lie.
I hope they do it again. It was sports related. I was happy. It was live. It was real stuff. It was funny.
hate
There were
that I
some
missed
great
that.
crashes. I wish I'd have told you
I
about
hate
it.
that I missed that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I forgot where I
Go
was
Cletus.
going.
One day you'll listen to this, I hope.
Yeah, maybe so. I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, doesn't matter. So
Gone now.
Yeah,
Pyong.
it's gone right out my brain. So it happens. But man, I don't guess I got anything else, man. I think we've talked about all we can talk about.
I think that's it. Let's see
Sports
what this paper
history,
says that you
nothing. They printed a second page for no
printed. Yeah,
reason.
it printed the top line there talking about your catchers that you wanted.
I know. See. So that's
Anybody
about
out there
it.
got anything else that we can talk about?
We should start.
No? Okay, cool.
We should start doing this podcast on Discord, and we could just answer questions that way.
Well, we could.
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. That's something else we'll figure out. We're trying to figure out any way we can to
Hey, this is
maintain
just fun.
contact.
This is just fun at this point.
It is. It is until we finally have something to talk about.
I still
again.
think it'd be neat to come up with like a greatest sports movie bracket and let that kick down. But I mean, that's more of a live show thing or something that people are going to be able to respond to vote.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, Sports Center did the thing with the Marvel comic thing. You see that on the? They have a thing they do. They have a Sports Center Snapchat, obviously, because everybody and their mama's got Snapchat. My
Hey,
mom and my grandma both have Snapchat.
we have Snapchat. We just don't use it.
But They got on there and they did a bracketed, like good guys and bad guys. And it was fan voted.
Oh, that's cool.
And it came down to Thor versus Thanos. And you know the boy Thor come home with 79% of the vote. But the funniest thing was is all the people crying into the host are like, you cheated the vote. And he was like, I didn't cheat anything. He's like, quit telling me what I did. He was being so real with him. It was funny.
That's awesome.
But it had like Dormammu and all that. I mean, but, you know, there were some big upsets. You know, Hulk took out Captain Marvel. So
Yeah, that wouldn't have been on my list of things to see. That's
it
probably
was
where I
pretty
missed
neat,
it.
though.
I'm surprised. That's what I was going to say a minute ago. It came back to me. I was really hoping you weren't going to go, that you spent money to order WrestleMania. Then I was going to be,
Shh.
oh, well, never
Some
mind.
people like wrestling. I wasn't going to order it. I didn't even know it had. They were not canceled.
It's
it.
tonight, too, isn't it? I think I
think it
read
was
it's like two nights.
or
It's like
something.
last night and tonight. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe they can't have all the stars in one place. At
I
one
guess
time.
if you're into wrestling, you can.
This stuff is expensive, and it's been going on for some years now. I want to say 36 years.
You know, okay, we didn't talk about this, and
Hulk
we won't spend
Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant one time. That's a lot of man.
Was it scripted?
I don't
You tell
know.
him
That's
to?
a lot of man to pick up and drop on the ground.
So speaking of something that's not scripted, but I'm really interested to see how it works out, and we'll pick
face
this up
isn't
next
scripted.
week. It's not a very nice thing to say to me. I don't like being bullied. I'm going to cry on TV.
You need to shut your mouth
Radio.
right now. Continue going. And start some more stupid stuff.
I would never
I'm going to
start
beat you with a hose.
anything.
Shut your
So
mouth.
anyway,
Continue.
back to stuff that's not scripted. UFC 249. Have you followed this story at all?
If we're going to talk about Khabib saying he's backing out, I'm going to find the little rascal and sit on him.
Yeah, so he did. Again.
Completely back.
Yeah, he's done.
I told you that dude don't want no part of Tony Ferguson.
Because here's what's happened. He's now claiming that because there was unknown about whether or not the fight was going to happen, that he apparently is
training.
not ready. Word is he's about 30 pounds overweight and is afraid that he's not going to be able to make weight for this fight because he's just been lazy and doing nothing. So initially they were like, you know, so
my name Khabib.
So-
I get you.
so initially he was in the States training
Nurmagomedov.
and went back to Russia in the midst of all of this crap. And then Russia, of course,
Mother
locks
Russia,
everything
You
down.
cannot leave.
And so
I'm stuck.
Wes and I were talking about this the other day, and I was like, you're telling me that Russia's not going to let this dude fly out on a private jet? Come on now. I guarantee it's going to happen. So then Russia gives him clearance to fly,
And then he backs out.
and he's like, oh, I'm not taking that risk. I'm not taking that chance. So Connor has since come out and had some nice choice words to say about.
Of course he did. It's
about-
Connor.
So, and then there was a
He was
rumor that
special.
Connor would end up being the guy.
Connor don't want to play pat face with Tony Ferguson
Well,
either.
it's not happening, but that was the rumor. But anyway,
Contract killer. I promise you.
maybe
that
we'll-
dude is bad.
yeah. Well, it's supposed to still happen, but we don't know who it's going to be. Who's going to be on the card?
Tony don't care who it is.
No, but
Put
we'll.
John Jones out there, he'll swing at him, but that'd probably be a bad
I'm going to
idea.
talk about John. He's probably too busy.
Johnny, you out of jail, bud?
Yeah.
Did you even go to jail?
He got out because of coronavirus. He's already pled out on it and everything. It's done. So they like
Probably
adjudicated
good
it
for
like that. It's done. Over. He ain't got nothing to worry about. I think he got some probation and
Probably.
whatever. So
Needs to get something like his act together and quit being in the news for bad stuff.
yeah, that would be great. I love that guy, but I'm tired of seeing that crap.
me
it's
too.
it's sad deal. So man, I guess that's about all we got.
Yeah.
I'm about out of stuff. Now we're just rambling.
I'm tapped, but
All right.
I'm not tapping out.
Well, until next week, take your showers, wash your hands, use your
Stay
hand
corona
sanitizer.
free.
Yes, we want you listening all
In
week.
2020.
Stay home if you can stay home. You don't need the governor to tell you to do that. Just keep your
We're all
asses at
grown.
home.
You have a brain.
That's right.
Use it.
Until
Some
next
of you-
week.
Some of you.
Woo pig.
Woo pig.